Okay, so today I want to do a different video. I want to do a what's in my camera bag video, so I thought that could be cool to like show off the gear I used. Before I start though, I need to deal with this lighting situation. This is terrible. I wanted to film nice and early so that we get all of this natural light coming in. I thought it would light up the room really well, and of course it's a cloudy day and it's just grey mush outside and the room is super dark, so I need to do I need to fix this. Here goes with the corny turning lights on in my studio montage. It's actually not a studio, it's just half of my bedroom. Alright, let's go. Okay, let me like preface all of this video by like saying some of the gear is not what you would call ghetto. Like some of it is actually expensive gear. One thing in particular, all of the things you can bet I didn't pay retail price for, except for like my DSLR, which isn't even a really good high-end one. Everything on this list I've like gone through, and before I bought it, done a lot of research into it to like try and find the lowest price for it. So some of this stuff I got on clearance or got through like discount codes, all that kind of stuff. So I really went all out to try and save as much as I could on this stuff, because camera gear is expensive. Like it's not cheap stuff to buy. So I did make sure that when I was looking to buy a lot of things, it's ghetto style, because some of it is just, it's not the fanciest gear in the world, and some of it is pretty flashy, but I got for really good prices. Alright, let's get on to the gear that I use. But like before I start talking too much more, this chair that I'm sitting on, it makes a lot of noise when I move. It makes a lot of sound, so just know it's the chair, it's not me. Okay, so some of the gear that I'm going to go through in this video, I talked about in a video that I put up 2 weeks ago or something like that, and it was called How I Make YouTube Videos. So I'm going to put it in the card. I think the card is on this side. I hope it's on this side, but it could be over here. I always forget where the YouTube cards are, but I think it's there. Anyway, I'm going to link to that video so you can check that out. It's kind of just goes through like everything that I've got set up and how this whole studio space is set up as well to make videos. But anyway, let's go through some of the gear that I use. I'm going to close this window because the sound of nature and the birds, it's killing me. I hate it. I can't deal with it right now. Okay, so the camera that I'm shooting on right now is a Canon EOS 700D. So this camera is also known as the Rebel T5i. The reason I use this camera is because this camera was sort of marketed by Canon to be like the go-to beginners vlogging camera. Like it came out in the States with like a full-on starter pack. So it came with a Rode shotgun microphone, it came with a, what else did it come with? I can't remember, but it was like meant to be the starter package for people doing YouTube. And it's a good camera, it's really good. It's better than the last DSLR that I used to shoot on, which was like an 1100D or something like that. That's like a $300 camera, I think. This is only worth $700. It's been out for a couple of years now. It's good, it's decent, and it gets decent video. Like I shoot 1080p at 24 frames a second, which is what I like to shoot at. And that's sort of the standard. It's not the best, I mean it could have a clearer image, but for now it's decent. I am gonna upgrade soon-ish, but this does really good for what I need it to do. Okay, so the thing I've noticed with like getting into camera gear and learning more about it is it's really hard to sort of not spend crazy money on things. The thing is, I always manage to find things for cheaper prices, so I'll look around everywhere until I find the lowest price on something. At the same time, when you do that over a bunch of different items, you still can end up spending quite a bit of money. The thing you need to know is you don't have to spend any money at all to get started making videos, or even with photography, I guess. If you've got a phone, you literally have everything you need to start making and putting up videos or taking photos or whatever. You've got all of that right here. cameras on most phones nowadays are really good. You know, you're gonna get really good video quality, really good photos, and you can edit on these. There are different apps you can get. You can post it straight to YouTube from your phone. So if you've got a phone, you're ready to start. You don't really need to get anything else besides that. I still use my phone quite a bit when I'm shooting video, so a lot of the B-roll that I'll shoot in my videos I usually shoot on this, because this can shoot in 4K, so that's really useful. It also can shoot at really high frame rate, so I can get really nice slow motion at a really good quality. So I like to use this just if I need some really nice slow motion footage, or if I'm doing a video where I just need some nice B-roll, I like to use this. So if you are just shooting on a phone and you want to start getting into some different gear and want to sort of make the video quality on your phone just a little bit better, again, you can buy different lenses for them. So the thing with phones is you kind of, like, you can pinch to zoom, like that's all. You can't really change how wide the shot is or anything like that. So you can look at getting different lenses for your phone. I know that there are a lot of different lenses out there for iPhones. There's not so many for Samsung phones that I can find. I haven't done that much research because I don't really need them too much, but I am going to look into it. So you can get heaps of different lenses for your phone. You can get wide angle lenses, like fisheye lenses, macro lenses, all different kind of things. You can get heaps of different kinds of lenses for your phone. So I would recommend looking into that if you're going to start making videos or taking photos with your phone. So the next thing I would suggest to get if you're going to be making videos with a phone, and this is specifically for video, is an external microphone. So you can get a number of different microphones. You can get a microphone that plugs into this and it can point straight at you, so it's like a little mini shotgun microphone for your phone, and that can allow you to get some nice audio with it. Phones are going to capture pretty decent audio, but when you're out in the wind and stuff like that, you'll want a microphone that you can put a little dead cat over or something just to get some better quality audio. So mini shotgun microphones are a thing you can get, or something that I've personally used is a lapel mic. So I just have this little Rode lapel mic, and I don't use this very often, but this is good if you're shooting on a phone. You can just hook this up to your shirt and have it plugged into your phone and you're ready to shoot audio. It's good if you're out in a windy place, so I always carry it with me. It's just something that I can have just if I need good audio on my phone, but most of the time I'm shooting on this camera anyway, so it doesn't matter. And look, you can pick these up fairly cheap, like a good lapel mic. I think this one was $70, maybe less. That may seem a little pricey just for a microphone, but it's a really good quality one. This is a Rode SmartLav Plus, I think that's what it's called. It could be called something else, I don't remember, but it's a really good microphone, so go check it if you need a microphone. Okay, continuing with the phone theme, if you are going to keep shooting on a phone and you want to get something that's going to just up the quality a little bit, I would suggest getting a gimbal. Now, I did a video on this. I did 2 videos on this actually, and this is a really, like, having this has really changed how I feel about shooting on a phone. So since I got my DSLR camera, I've never wanted to really shoot on my phone for very much outside of like maybe time lapses or like slow motion video, just because it can get such high frame rates. After I got this, I've wanted to use the phone a lot more, so I start to shoot a lot more B-roll on the phone itself, and I just start to use the phone more and more just because I have this. I can't pronounce the brand name of this, but it's a really good gimbal. It's a Smooth Q. I'll put a link to the video that I did on it because this is really good. The battery life on it is like 12 hours or something, and it's pretty affordable in terms of gimbals. So it's a 3-axis gimbal, so what that means is it's gonna get rid of the shakiness of, you know, just hand holding a camera. This is gonna get rid of that. So this is worth, I think, like $200. I got this for 120, I think. So that was just from me looking around on eBay and finding one for a really good price, and then on top of that there were these discount codes, so I got heaps off it, so I was really pumped about that. So definitely recommend getting one of these if you can afford it. If you're making videos on your phone, like, you don't need it, it's just nice to have. After you've upgraded your audio, you might want to upgrade how smooth the video looks. They're helpful to have, and they're nice to shoot on. You feel so professional when you have it. Alright, the rest of the gear that I'm going to talk about is more specifically designed for DSLR cameras and stuff like that, so that's where it's going. But you know, like I said before, you don't need to have any of this stuff to make videos with. So like if you've got a phone and a pair of headphones, if that's all you have, that's enough to start out. Even just having a phone, like you don't need any of this fancy gear, and none of this gear is that fancy anyway. Okay, so when I'm walking around with my big camera and I'm out shooting a vlog, or even when I'm walking around, like if I want to go handheld with my camera, then I use a GorillaPod. Now this thing is quite possibly the second most just terrible thing to come from humanity ever. First being Donald Trump. The reason is this thing just, it doesn't work. This is just, I think this is secondhand. I think I got this secondhand, I can't remember. The reason I say this thing is so bad is because the screw mount, which I don't know if you're supposed to mount them directly onto the camera. I think they're supposed to have a second like adapter part, but this just come as it is, and I screw this into the bottom of the camera and the camera doesn't ever tighten properly on it. It's sort of, this is always kind of floppy. That's like the screw is just a slightly smaller fit than what it needs to be. So I'm always worried the camera is going to get loose and fall off. The legs on this thing are terrible. They just, like with no effort, if I'm just trying to stand it up or move it, the legs just fall off. It just falls to pieces. It's terrible. I hate this thing. The reason I recommend a GorillaPod though is because you're going to be able to mount your camera on really just random places. You know, if you find a fence, you're going to be able to wrap it around a fence. You can mount the camera there. The reason I say get a good one and spend the $80 I think that the Joby GorillaPod is, which is like the one every vlogger, every YouTuber has. The reason I say to lash out and spend that money is because you're actually going to be able to use it for what it's designed for. This cheap thing doesn't work. I can't do anything with it, and it's frustrating because I get into a position where it's like a GorillaPod would be really good now. I've got one, but it just doesn't work properly. It's frustrating, trust me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. Just get a good one. I swear it's worth it. Okay, so in terms of like stuff on my camera, that's really the only stuff that I use. Like my main setup that I'm using right now is my camera with a shotgun mic on it, and that's it. But there are a couple other things that I carry with me when I go out shooting now, and the main thing is my drone. So I use the DJI Mavic Pro. The main thing about it is how portable it is. So you see some of the big Phantom drones and they're kind of bulky and awkward. It's not that much bigger than my phone in terms of like its footprint. So when it's all folded up, it can just slip into its little case, slip into a backpack, you're good to go. Like if you're gonna buy a drone now, I wouldn't recommend this one. I'd recommend the Mavic Air. It's the newer version. It's a bit smaller. It's a bit more refined. So if you're gonna go for one, maybe get that one. I think that one would be the way to go. I only got this one because I got it for such a good price. So the Mavic Air might be a way to go, but the Mavic Pro is still really good. Okay, I feel like I'm about to pass out from talking so much, so I'm gonna go. I hope this video was good. So I want to do a Q&A video tomorrow, so leave like a question down in the comments, because I've got a few on Twitter, because I was going to do this like a few weeks ago and I never got around to it. So I've got a few that I got asked, a few questions that I got asked on Twitter, so I'll answer them in that video too. But if you want to leave a comment, maybe I'll answer it. I'll definitely answer it, because there's not going to be that many, because I've got like 40 something subscribers, so it's going to be like 3 questions. It'll be a very quick video, but that's good for me because not much editing. Okay, yeah. And also, if you want to leave like a suggestion for like a theme or something you'd like to hear me talk about for a whole video, you know, we can do that. Alright, I hope you liked my little ghetto style what's in my camera bag. I rambled a lot more than I thought I would. I thought this was going to be a really fast video, but clearly it wasn't. Alright, see you tomorrow.